Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Holy Happy Hour. First of all, as you can see, it is Tuesday and it is election day, and I did my duty of voting. So that's why I want to make this video because it's election day. And first of all, we want to take this time to take a deep breath to trust in God, trust in the process, do our duty, but at the end of the day, remember that we are Christians, we're Catholics, we are called to follow the Lord. We are called to remember that Jesus is King. And so with that, there is also the civil duty though to get out and vote and to voice your opinion to be part of this election season. I come around each time for all elections, and I typically have all sorts of questions. I have all sorts of things I didn't research, I didn't look into. I don't follow politics so closely that I would be the best person to have a conversation with someone about like economic policies or stuff on war or whatever. I have trusted sources that I follow and I allow them to be an introduction to that thing. But at the end of the day, I want to hear from the leaders in our faith. I want to hear from the leaders that are called by God to lead their Catholic flock in this role of citizenship. So one thing I thought of is during this election time, there are a lot of people that are choosing to leave the like say like the ballot blank for president, like to not vote for president, to not pick one of them, saying that both of them are evil, and I'm just not going to pick one, and that's it. And I had one thought on that. I think when it came down to it, my first thought was somebody's going to win the election, someone's going to be a part of it, and yes, you can't in good conscience say because I'm Catholic, I'm voting for this person. Because I'm Catholic, I'm voting for that person because at the end of the day, the president of the United States is not going to fully align with the teachings of the Catholic Church. But we can use our Catholic teachings and our Catholic upbringing to better inform our decision on who to vote for. And I've been in this kind of interesting like thought in my head. I've had this thought of it's very intriguing to me, probably a good thing, but just intriguing to me. So maybe someone could comment below why this is, but that I guess I kind of understand it, but that bishops and priests and the clergy have to kind of stay bipartisan. Like they can't like fully endorse like President Trump or President or Vice President Kamala Harris. They can't come out and fully endorse anybody. But with that, I feel like there's a whole lot of there's not a whole lot of guidance in where someone should go. I feel like the person that I think that does it best, and I'll include his show in the description below, so you guys can check out the Father Leo show. I feel like he does a good job of really pointing out some of the darkest of evils, stuff like abortion, and the whole this concept of one party running on that as one of their main points, and that being a big issue, and him not afraid to call it out. But on the same hand, also calling Trump out for other things that he may be a little too harsh on. And I always think of like the Republican Party when it comes to the pro-life movement. You do have people that are a little wishy-washy. Like, yeah, we wish Trump would be a little bit more pro-life. He doesn't support a federal ban on abortion, so that's something that we wish was different. But at the same time, he is the more pro-life choice of the two. So I was just thinking about the people though that leave it blank. So when you're leaving it blank, are we falling short of the duties that we are called to do? We are called to participate in these civil duties. We're called to be a part of this. Yet this isn't a faith based, or it is a faith based thing. It does people don't think that voting is a faith based decision, but it truly is. And so I looked up to see like what does the Catechism say about it, and I found it's a huge book, so I have a hard time getting this in. I found that in 2239, paragraph 2239, It is the duty of citizens to contribute along with the civil authorities to the good of society in a spirit of truth, justice, solidarity, and freedom. So for me, I thought to myself, okay, so yeah, so we are called to do this. So leaving something blank, and I'm not going out to say like that is a mortal sin, like you have sinned and you need to go to confession. But I do think that we're falling short of our duties, that we are called to make the choice. Now, when it comes to the choice, I believe we have to make the choice of the lesser of two evils. I believe that too. And by saying that, I want to make clear that one thing I hate is we don't know the people enough to know the background, to know some of the stuff to like call Kamala Harris an evil person or call Donald Trump an evil person. I feel like that's a very strong word to use. I wouldn't use that word aside from someone that is just truly openly like a Satan worshiper or something. But when I say that, because I just want to make that clear, because I kind of cringe when people say that the lesser of two evils. Like both candidates are evil, and we're picking the lesser of two evils. That is just such a harsh thing to say, even for people that I don't support. I'm still reluctant to call them evil. Such a strong word. But I want to look at that catechism paragraph again because again it says it is the duty of the citizens to contribute along with the civil authorities to the good of society in a spirit of truth, justice, solidarity, and freedom. And so when I choose to vote, and I encourage you when you choose to vote, and this is obviously being released on election day. A lot of you guys probably already have voted, but is to think about what we are called to do there and the things we're called to protect. Which the first one is to, or the last one, the freedom is to. Sorry, I lost it. Oh, there it is. Um, We are to contribute along with civil authorities to the good of society in a spirit of truth, justice, solidarity, and freedom. And a lot of people don't realize this, but without the right or the freedom to life, there are no other freedoms. If you can take that freedom away, you can take any freedoms away. And so that's the first and foremost thing that needs to be protected. I think a lot of people think it's really confusing why Catholics would support Donald Trump solely because he's the more pro-life president. But at the end of the day, that's the basic fundamental right. I feel like that's where we're at. We can look deeper into economic policies. I watched a bipartisan video on economic policies, and you guys should check it out. I'll include that link too. It's from Caleb Hammer from the Financial Audit. But Caleb Hammer had did a very unbiased. He doesn't tell you who to vote for. He literally just dives deep into Kamala Harris's policies on economic or the economy, and Donald Trump's policies on the economy. And he just goes through and he without bias, reads what's from their website, what they want to do, and then tells you what's good about it and what's bad about it. And both of them are going to increase the national debt. Both of them are going to cause job loss in some sense, cause job creation in some sense. So there's plus and minuses to both. But at the end of the day, you don't have the freedom to life, you can't get past that argument to then move on to the next argument. So Catholics for Kamala Harris shouldn't exist. It wouldn't exist. I understand the hesitancy to vote for Trump for some people, but at the end of the day, we need to vote for who is the most pro-life president, the one that is going to protect the most vulnerable, which is the unborn. And enough with the like you just care about them having the baby. You don't care about the baby after they are born because that's just ridiculous. Like everyone should be open to adoption. First of all, the Catholic Church does more for adoption, for orphans, for women that are single moms. They do more than anyone. So, yes, we do care about them after life. We want to protect that right. We want to protect that right to freedom. And at the end of the day, that's what my 2 cents, my little rambling rant on today's election. Now, to close it out, let's think about this though. I wanted Trump to win when he went against Biden as well. Same reasons. When Biden won, it was like, dang, okay. And then we moved on. We still went to mass that week. We still went to our holy hours and prayed. We still had discipleship. We still had Bible studies. We still continue to grow in our faith and to chase after Jesus. What we didn't do is we didn't spend all these hours and hours and days and months and years, 4 years, just complaining about this and that. Because at the end of the day, a choice will be made, something will happen, whether you think the election fraud, election integrity or not, a choice will happen, and that is the next president. Prices could go up, prices could go down, things could become easier, things could become harder. But at the end of the day, we have to continue to keep our eyes on what we're supposed to, which is doing our duty during these election seasons. And then after we have done this duty, we've checked it off, you got your little sticker. Now let's get back on track. Let's get back focused on growing in our faith, getting into the Bible, getting into the catechism. Just join a small group, get into discipleship, like learning how can you better evangelize people. If you guys don't have focus missionaries on your at your parish or whatever, or wherever you're listening from, discipleship is just a group of people that are. It's a smaller group usually, but we're walking together with each other, encouraging each other to continue to help others by inviting them into a Bible study and helping them walk in their faith. But we're all called to be missionary disciples of Christ. And the best way to do that, the apostles were sent out two by two. They weren't sent out alone, they were sent out two by two to walk together to go out and evangelize and help people. That's got to be the main focus. So no matter what happens this election season, whether your candidate wins or loses, you got to move forward and continue to focus on. At the end of the day, someone could be president. 4 years later, it's going to be someone different, most likely. But at the end of the day, Jesus is king. So we have to continue to keep that as the focus. Continue to keep life as the focus. Being pro life, pro freedom. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have that freedom to life, you don't have any freedoms. They can all be taken away from you. But at the end of the day, as well, God is going to decide when all this ends, and all we can do is prepare ourselves for that second coming. So we do not know the moment that it'll happen. We need to continuously be preparing our hearts and preparing ourselves for that day that we are called before God in that judgment day. So I hope you guys got something out of this. Sorry for the rambling rant or everything, but I did want to get on here and express that. I feel like a little people are too wishy washy. Obviously, the podcast would endorse President Trump as the most pro life president, although we do not come 100% support everything of his. Um, but at the end of the day, we are here to evangelize. We are here to focus on our growth in our faith. Remember that is your civil duty to vote. Fill out every box. Vote for who you believe to be the lesser of two evil thinking, not people, the lesser of two evil policies, and ride with it. God has a plan, and it all work out. But at the end of the day, we got to focus on growing in our faith and helping others grow in their faith as well. So this week we have a great episode with Hugh Thompson. We're going to be talking about being the best husband, father, and man. And I'm super excited. But you ladies, you got to watch it too because it'll be good for your husbands and you can send it to them. You should send it. Ladies, if you're watching, you should send that episode to them. But you guys should watch it too because nothing that a man should do to become the best husband, father, and man, a woman shouldn't also do to become the best wife, mother, and woman. It's just that I happen to be talking to a man. So you guys check out that episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and subscribe these videos. You guys can help us reach 2,500 by the end of the year. And we are super excited. And we also got a great lineup coming up. Dr. Carla Broussard is coming up. Curtis Martin is coming up. And Dr. Edward Shree, the two co-founders of Focus. Super excited to talk with them about Focus and everything that's going on. But you guys continue to support the channel. We love you, and we will talk to you soon.